Been thinking a lot about how nationalism and socialism overlap, because that's what Nazi means. It stands for nationalist socialist. Hitler was not a socialist. Let's make that clear. Hitler employed socialist rhetoric because the world was in like global financial turmoil after World War I, seeing huge inflation. Does that sound familiar? So he needed to make promises to the working class that he was going to make their lives better. Otherwise, they wouldn't elect him into power. He made an enemy in his campaign out of the elites, which, the capitalist class, and the communists. The common theme was that Jews were secretly the financial elites of the world, controlling all the world's finances while also inventing communism, which is like, I don't know, if you keep going left in communism, you get rid of money altogether. But it was convenient for his campaign to convince the working class that the capitalist elites were one of his enemies. Actually use the word socialism in their party name to get the working class on their side. But he leaned so heavily on socialist rhetoric that, like, one of the more radical wings within Nazis were the SA, which roughly translates to stormtroopers, as if you needed another reason fascists are the bad guys in Star Wars. They were super nationalist while also demanding that Hitler follow through on his campaign promises to stick it to the elites. I mean, they were still wildly nationalist and violent and racist and anti-Semitic, but they wanted the things that he promised. And so if Hitler followed through on his campaign promises to help the working class, well, that would have meant surrendering some power to the SA. And at the end of the day, Hitler didn't care about some national identity. He didn't care about Jews. He didn't care about the working class. He cared about consolidating and holding on to absolute power. So at the end of the day, they kind of called his bluff on helping the working class, and he folded and arrested and executed some leaders of the SA and basically completely eliminated them.
And then consistently made deals with the very elites he swore to get rid of and privatized industries and fully embraced hyper-corporatism that is often present in fascist regimes.
So if you're someone who campaigned on nationalism and socialism and you're in power, well, socialism is specifically a tool designed to redistribute power and wealth to the working class, gives them the means of production. Whereas nationalism is an ideology used time and time again to get the masses afraid of some made-up threat because it doesn't look like them or doesn't practice their religion or doesn't believe what they believe or whatever, to consolidate power. So if you're in power, you're eventually going to have to make a choice between the one that distributes the power and the one that consolidates the power. And I would bet most of the time you're probably going to choose the one that lets you consolidate power, which is exactly what Hitler did. Just like Trump did, right? He's going to get all the blue collar workers, the farmers on his side because he's going to work for them. Then he's going to get into power and he's going to help the financial elites by giving them tax breaks, by making them more wealthy, and completely abandon the needs of the working class.